Welcome back to the Crypto Mastermind Show, guys. It's a big news for y'all. So Ripple, they have been approved for their banking charter license. So we're going to talk about that. So Ripple, Circle, and BitGo secure conditional approval for US banking charters. Basically, the US OCC has granted conditional approvals to Circle, Ripple, BitGo, Fidelity Digital Assets, and Paxos, which have applied for the federal charter needed to become trust banks. Coinbase, Stripe-owned Bridge, and Crypto.com have also applied. This is big, guys. Ripple, Circle, BitGo, Fidelity Digital Assets, and Paxos have won conditional regulatory approvals that could clear a path for the crypto firms to operate as a federally regulated trust banks in the United States. So the OCC, Officer of the Comptroller of Currency, they have approved it on Friday as Ripple as a national trust bank. I'm just gonna streamline it, make it faster. Circle got one as well. It's tied to a new entity named First National Digital Currency Bank. USDC is a Circle partner. It's a Stellar Lumens partner, and USDC can be run on the XRP ledger. Most people don't know that. This is big, guys. Even Fidelity Digital Assets, man, that's gonna pump like trillions of dollars in, man. Yeah, because basically Donald Trump came in and he's a lot more crypto friendly, so we're seeing a lot of development going on, but these assholes still want to manipulate the price, in the middle of a crypto correction, pullback, and then they want to act like crypto is bad, but they're busting out all these moves, it's just a complete distraction, you got to look at the fundamentals, and I'm showing you the fundamentals. Okay, so it says here, although the firms won't be able to accept cash deposits or make loans if they secure the final approvals from the OCC, they would be able to hold customer assets. New entrants into the federal banking sector are good for customers. The banking industry and the economy, first from the OCC. So a trust bank is a lot different to a normal bank, and we're going to go over that in a minute. It said Anchorage Digital was the only federally chartered crypto firm. I guess now it's not the only one. So it talks about Circle to act as a custodian for its own reserves and hold crypto assets on behalf of institutional clients. However, the firm would not be able to take cash deposits or make loans like traditional bank. Because the same with Ripple, they won't be operating like a traditional bank. You see, they'll be kind of offering like trustee services type of deal. But I'm going to cover that in a minute. Says the OCC would be tasked with regulating Ripple's stablecoin RLUSD. That's not an issue because I know that's fully regulated. Ripple was created by the government, guys. Nobody will tell you that, but I will. Talks about the Genius Act. I think most of y'all know that. That's basically like a stablecoin regulation that they're trying to come up with. They've passed it in law, but they just got to implement it, which will take a little bit of time, Okay, so we know Ripple got their banking charter license. So I asked ChatGPT what's the National Trust Bank. A national trust bank generally refers to a commercial banking institution that offers a range of financial services such as deposit, loan, trust services, and wealth management. The exact meaning can vary slightly by country or context, but these are the core ideas. So, a trust bank, Ripple being a trust bank offering trust bank services, it says here, the word trust in the name usually means the bank also manages trust accounts and fiduciary services. Yeah, I think that sounds pretty accurate for Ripple. Managing assets on behalf of individuals, families, and organizations, acting as a trustee in estates or trusts, handling investment and wealth management for clients. See, what does Ripple do? They divvy out all the XRP, right, to all these fintech companies and banks, right? I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing, but it's not, Ripple is not going to offer a traditional banking service. It's going to be different. It is a trust bank, so it operates different. It says here, a trust in banking refers to a legal arrangement where the bank holds and manages assets for beneficiaries, acts in the best interest of the beneficiary, may handle estate planning, investment decision, or asset dispersal according to the trust agreement. Okay. So, I think that sums it up pretty well. So Ripple, you know how with a traditional bank, you receive a deposit and then the bank leverages it out, right? That $1 becomes $10. The fractional reserve banking, right? With a traditional fractional reserve lending, Ripple's not going to be doing that. See, I'll tell you what Ripple is. See, Ripple is a money service business, an MSB. Nobody else will tell you that except for me and Crypto Hulk. So yeah, Ripple, as it says right here, Ripple has operated as a money services business, MSB, in the US, and parts of the company are still regulated under MSB money transmitter rules in various jurisdictions. Basically, Ripple got fined in 2015. They got fined like 700 grand for violating anti-money laundering laws. Not a big deal. Basically, there's a little insider thing very few people know. Ripple didn't do the buying and selling. XRP Fund 2 did it. They did the selling, the buying and selling. Only Ripple only sold it once. Basically, Ripple, they got a major payments license in Singapore. Doesn't get any better than that. Europe, they got registered as a VASP, Virtual Asset Service Provider. They got the MTL, money transmitter licenses in the US, or most US states. So basically, an MSB, a money service business, it basically means that they can send money, exchange currencies, as it says right here, including digital currencies, or facilitate payments. And Ripple has had that since 2015. So I'm just showing you the developments, what's going on, how Ripple operates. It's all coming along like clockwork. It's coming along very nicely. And here's my sales time, my little promotion time. Okay, Caleb and Brown. I highly recommend you sign up to Caleb and Brown. Why? Because you get institutional grade custody secured by Fireblocks. You get your own personal broker, 24/7 service. Truly excellent. I use Caleb and Brown myself, and I can vouch for them. They're fantastic. The fees are very minimal. They got an app. I don't know if you can see it right there. Excellent reviews. All your favorite cryptos are there. XRP, XLM, XDC, Algorand, Bitcoin, they're all there. The fact that you get the institutional grade custody alone, that alone is a selling point. And if you have a company or an LLC or trust, you can set up an account with that also, or your personal name, either one. You can have both. Thought I'd just share that with you because not many exchanges offer that. See, with Caleb and Brown, you actually own your crypto. With all these other exchanges, you don't actually truly own it because it's commingled with it's in what they call an omnibus account. So you're like unsecured. So if you want to withdraw out of a traditional crypto exchange, it's kind of at the discretion of the crypto exchange. Caleb and Brown, you actually own your crypto. You are what they call an account owner and not an account holder. There's a difference. Anyway, do check that out if you like. Please like, share and subscribe. Be greatly appreciated.